So I know it's kind of a little late to the party, but either way, I wanted to talk to you today about my 2021 style and wardrobe intentions. And that's because I've been doing a lot of thinking about my wardrobe, specifically how to be the most intentional with it while still getting the most joy I can out of it. And for those of you who don't know me, welcome. My name's Christina. I talk all about minimalism, intentional living, and intentional spending. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, then please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you want to see more videos all about that, then please hit subscribe. So if you guys have been following my channel for a bit, then you know that I've really discovered minimalism and have pretty much dove in head first into that lifestyle and, more importantly, I think into that mindset. Up until this point, the item in my life that has caused me the most stress and overwhelm, but at the same time also provides me a lot of joy and value, is my wardrobe. I don't think I've ever felt this clear when it came to my wardrobe, and these intentions were kind of hard for me to really narrow down and evaluate because I really don't want anything. I'm not feeling particularly drawn to anything right now. And I don't have this like constant feeling that I used to experience all the time, by the way, that I need something else, that something is missing from my wardrobe. I'm looking at my style intentions this year sort of through that lens, through a minimalist and intentional, mindful lens. So these are the plans for my wardrobe for 2021. And I want to thank ShopTagger today for sponsoring this video. I'm so excited to be working with them again. So if you haven't heard of ShopTagger, it's a Google Chrome extension and smartphone app that basically lets you know when any item that you might be interested in goes on sale. And I really love using ShopTagger because it actually just teaches you to wait. And you don't waste your time or put yourself at risk of getting really distracted. Every time you sort of like go in and check up on the item to see if it's on sale, and then you get distracted by everything else that's on the website. So I think if you're looking to shop more intentionally, teach yourself to wait on an item before you buy, and shop on a budget, then using apps like ShopTagger can be a really helpful tool to sort of keep you on track and on your budget. It's super easy to install on Google Chrome or your smartphone, and you can set it up so that ShopTagger only emails you when the item that you're interested in goes on sale. You can tell it for how much off, and it'll even let you know when it comes back in stock. And on top of that, on Google Chrome, ShopTagger will scan the web for extra coupons and codes so that you get the best possible price at the time that you buy it. And if you shop at certain retailers, they do offer a cashback program. So you're always going to be able to get the best possible deal and even earn a little bit of cash back while you're at it. I've actually used them a couple of times this year to get some jeans and trousers that I had my eye on for quite a while. And since I've unsubscribed to pretty much all retailers to sort of keep out of sight, out of mind, when there was something that I wanted, then I'd organize it into my wish list, and when the notification came from ShopTagger, then I could decide whether I was going to take the plunge and take advantage of the sale. So thank you to ShopTagger for sponsoring this video, and if you were interested in giving them a try and installing it on Google Chrome yourself, I will leave everything linked down below for you. My first style intention of 2021 is to shop secondhand first when I can. And this is kind of twofold. One is from a more sustainability and just circular consumption type of perspective, but the other is simply from a financial perspective. If you are looking to buy something, if you're looking for something specific, then I think secondhand shopping is the way to go. I'm not a huge thrifter per se, and I think especially because I often had a hard time saying no to things when I went thrifting, but it was money that I didn't need to spend. So I think an intentional approach to secondhand shopping, where if you have something that you're missing from your wardrobe, you have time to wait for it, and if it's an item that you would be comfortable buying secondhand, then I think definitely do that, because one, it creates a lot of intentionality and waiting and thought around the purchase, but second, you just save money. My second wardrobe intention is to continue decluttering, because right now my wardrobe is still a place where more often than not I experience feelings of overwhelm and choice fatigue rather than experiencing things like calm and just being satisfied with everything that I have so far. For this year, I really just plan on continuously decluttering and really figuring out and narrowing down what it is I like, what it is I wear, and what it is I feel my best in. And my wardrobe tracking spreadsheet will help with that too. If you guys were curious, I have been tracking every single wear and every single item in my wardrobe since July of 2020. If you want a template of it yourself, I'll leave it linked down below. It's totally free and very basic. It's a very low-level Excel spreadsheet for anyone who's a nerd out there. My third style intention is to give myself a limit. So I did say that I'm not really feeling particularly drawn to any item, but that's also assuming that I'm gonna have this mindset all throughout the year. And if you've been watching my channel up until now, then you know that my motivation ebbs and flows, and it's very easy to get distracted. But I think there are ways to keep whatever you want to add to your wardrobe or to your life in general more intentional by setting a limit around those items. So for me, I found out last year I added about 32 new things to my wardrobe, and that wasn't including things like gifts and PR and items for collaborations. So the number for sure is a lot higher than that. So this year I want to cut that way down, and I've given myself a limitation of buying 10 items this year. And with the mindset I have right now of wanting less and trying to get to know my stuff a little better, I really don't foresee myself wanting too many things, but it's good to have an idea of what you allow yourself to have in mind. So if you have a concrete specific number, it just makes keeping your promise to yourself and reaching your goals a little bit more clear and that much more intentional. So my next intention is to keep a running list of the items that I do decide that I want, but I'm gonna wait until they go on sale. And that's also assuming that I am unable to find them secondhand. So I think keeping a wish list, keeping a running list of what it is that you had your eye on and that you might want to buy, that you can sort of revisit and even decide if you've remember that you wanted the item in the first place. It's just a really helpful way to sort of streamline your wants and decide whether or not you're going to spend the money on the thing. My next style intention is to go largely logoless. Say that 10 times fast. I feel like the way my style has evolved this year, I really prefer items that just don't have logos. I don't need to be showing off where I got my t-shirt from so that some stranger can figure out how much I paid for it. Like, there are a few t-shirts that I have kept and a moto jacket that has quite obvious branding on it that I did keep. So I think a few pieces here and there, just because I love the way they fit and I love the style, I am going to keep, but I don't need to be flashing a logo around in anybody's face, because what I learned this year especially is just because you have that Gucci belt doesn't mean you could really afford it. My next style intention is to challenge myself to actually wear my maybes. I have decluttered a lot in my wardrobe this year, and there's still some bits and pieces that I come across every time and still have a hard time letting go of. I made a video all about things that I found hard to declutter and how I let go of a lot of them, but some of them just keep finding their way back. So that to me means that I need to challenge myself to actually wear them. I have a lot of beautiful boots that I just love, and they make me happy when I see them, but I never wear them. Part of that could be because of the world we live in now, but another part of that could be me trying to hold on to some fantasy self that really doesn't work in my everyday life. For this year, anything that comes across as a maybe or something that I have a hard time letting go of, I'm going to challenge myself to wear it and style it within 1 or 2 months. So a lot of my boots, I'm gonna have to take them for a spin this year. And that sort of brings me into my next intention, and that is to avoid indulging in my fantasy self. I think largely through my minimalist journey, decluttering, and self-compassion journey up until this point, I've really narrowed down my personal style, and I've also really gotten to know myself. So I stopped chasing after my inspiration and after my muses, and I stopped chasing after wearing their style rather than wearing my own. I think a lot of the reason that my wardrobe got so overwhelming was because I was really trying to indulge in my fantasy self. But when it comes to the men and women who I take inspiration from for my personal style, I can kind of now sort of take it or leave it and incorporate the things that will actually work in my everyday life and leave the things that won't. None of this fantasy self stuff. Obviously, another style intention that I have this year, way more than I ever have before, is to shop my closet first. I've said over and over in this video that there's nothing, that I'm really not looking for anything in particular at this time, but that doesn't mean I don't want to play around with my wardrobe and get inspiration, just find ways to get creative and have fun with my wardrobe. Because another way to really find satisfaction and figure out your personal style is to spend time in your own closet and start getting creative with what you already have. I find one sort of barrier to minimizing one's closet is a lot of people think that it will get boring, but it doesn't have to. And I think when you do that too, not only does it force you to spend time with your things and rediscover them and have that fun with them, but over time you also train yourself to let go of the idea that you need that exact thing to achieve that exact look, when really it's never the case. So have fun with your closet, and I'm looking forward to having fun with mine. The next thing that I really want to achieve with my wardrobe and my style this year is to really feel a sense of calm when I open up my wardrobe. At this point in time, I still really feel quite anxious and overwhelmed every time I open up my closet or open up a drawer. And I'm not really sure if that's necessarily like a number of pieces that I'm trying to get to, or if it's a feeling. I mean, I think I'm getting there, because since I initially started decluttering, my wardrobe does feel a lot less overwhelming than it used to, but I don't really feel quite there yet. So I feel like I still have some more room to let go of, more room to curate, and just more room to play around with it, because I think when you know, you know. And the final intention I have for my style and wardrobe this year is that I'm going to allow it to evolve. I think one assumption that I've made all the way up until this point is that I'll be satisfied with the wardrobe that I have now forever. And I also assume that my needs won't change, my lifestyle won't change. There's a big assumption that everything as it is now will be the way it is always, and that's just not true. So just because I'm not looking for one thing in particular right now doesn't mean I'll feel this way forever. Style's fun, but it's also quite fluid, and I'm gonna allow myself to enjoy that process, because slowly but surely now I really feel like I'm in a place where I can actually enjoy my style and enjoy experiencing my style and my wardrobe for what it is, and experience it as a joy in my life and something that augments it, rather than using my personal style as a way to make up for anything I felt like I was lacking at the time. And I learned that through mindful spending, intentionality, and learning to want less overall, and learning that more is not always more. So those are my style intentions, my wardrobe intentions for 2021. Let me know what your intentions are this year for your wardrobe, if that is something that you're planning to focus on this year. Thanks again to ShopTagger for sponsoring this video. And if you were interested in installing it yourself, I will leave everything linked down below. Leave this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you want to join the fam, please subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye.